In this module, you will learn about the emergence of nationalism in India. Almost all Indians felt that the British were controlling their lives and resources. They now wanted independence from the British. This intensified in the 1870s and 1880s with new laws imposed by the British. The Arms Act of 1878 was passed that stopped Indians from owning arms. This was followed by the Vernacular Press Act, which allowed the British to confiscate the assets of any newspaper that wrote against them.
The final straw came when the British opposed the Ilbert Bill, which allowed Europeans to be tried by an Indian court.
This racial discrimination by the British left the Indians enraged and led to the setting up of organizations like the Indian National Congress, the Indian Association, the Bombay Presidency Association, and the Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. These associations wanted India to be sovereign. This meant enabling Indians to operate without interference from the British. The Indian National Congress was formed in December 1885, when 72 delegates from all over India met at Bombay. Dada Bhai Naroji, an Indian businessman settled in London, and A.O. Hume, a retired British official, guided the younger nationalists of the Congress. The Congress, in its initial years, adopted a moderate outlook in its demands. It demanded more Indians in high positions in the government, the abolishment of the Arms Act, the separation of the executive from the judiciary, and the freedom of speech and expression for the Indians. At the same time, the Congress passed resolutions on issues like forest laws, the salt tax, and the welfare of Indian laborers working abroad. Speeches were given against the British, and newspapers were published criticizing them for India's economic downfall. The Congress felt that it was important for the British to understand the feelings of the Indians. However, by the 1890s, the moderate rationale of the Congress was questioned by many radically thinking Indians like Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. These leaders believed in self-reliance rather than waiting for the British government to understand the needs of the Indians. Tilak also raised the famous slogan, "Freedom is my birthright, and I shall have it." In 1905, the British partitioned Bengal, citing administrative convenience, while their actual motive was to create a rift among the Bengalis and also to restrict the influence of the Bengali politicians. This act enraged Indians, and both the moderates and the radicals from the Congress organized movements and meetings against this in different parts of India. This struggle, known as the Swadeshi movement, was fought against the British rule. It advocated national education, self-help, Swadeshi enterprise, and the use of Indian languages. However, the partition of Bengal was supported by the All India Muslim League. In the meantime, the Congress split in 1907 and was now led by the moderates, while the radical group, led by Tilak, worked separately. However, in 1915, both the groups united again. They signed the historic Lucknow Pact in 1916 with the All India Muslim League to work together for their cause. Therefore, The latter half of the 19th century saw the emergence of many national organizations in India that fought against the British. You have now reached the end of the module on the emergence of nationalism. In this module, you learnt that in the late 19th century, organizations like the Indian National Congress, the Indian Association, the Bombay Presidency Association, and the Pune Sarvajanik Sabha were formed. In its initial years, the Congress adopted a moderate outlook. In the 1890s, leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandrapal, and Lala Lajpat Rai questioned the moderate outlook of the Congress. The partition of Bengal in 1905 enraged Indians and resulted in the Swadeshi movement. The partition of Bengal was supported by the All India Muslim League. In 1916, the Congress and the All India Muslim League signed the historic Lucknow Pact.